Hey everyone, Shabby here and welcome back to SWE Octane. We are back with our second episode, and of course after the big one last week we saw the debut of AJ Styles. It's time for another big debut here right now, another contract signed in the last couple of days. Introducing your newest member of Octane. That's right, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is going to be Mr. Finn Balor. Now, the more eagle-eyed of you may have noticed him already in the introduction to the show. The contract was so close to being signed, I decided to try and sneak him in there and see if anyone noticed. And here he is now making his debut. And just like last week, he has asked for a little bit of mic time. And he is scheduled for a match as well. So it'll be interesting to see what Finn Balor has to say here, making his debut here in Octane. A roster that suits him very, very well, let's face it. With the Japanese aspect, the high-flying aspect, and the European aspect, Finn Balor fits every single aspect of what we want in this roster, and he is going to be a fantastic addition, and someone I can feel is going to be at the top end of this card for a long, long time. But of course, he's going to have to introduce himself. I feel sorry for those people sat behind that massive globe. They can't see a bloody thing, can they? That's a bugger, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be a massive signing for us, but he's going to have to prove himself. He's going to have to work his way up the card, and a win here in his debut match will be obviously imperative to him here. He's not going to want to lose this debut match. I don't think he will lose it, to be honest with you. Let's face it. Let's face it. He is absolutely one of the best wrestlers out there. And I have got a match scheduled for you in a couple of episodes' time. So should be next Sunday, in theory, if everything goes to plan. And that is going to be the match that really a lot of people talk about. And the match that probably got Finn Balor this job in WWE. Because it was a match that William Regal showed to Triple H to try and get him to sign the man up. And that, of course, was Prince Devitt versus Pac. Or Finn Balor versus Neville from the old Best of the Super Juniors tournament over in New Japan. If you've not seen that match before, then definitely search for it on YouTube. It is a fantastic match, and like I say, it was the match that really got Finn Balor signed up, really. That was the match that Regal showed Triple H to try and convince him. But let's see what Finn's got to say, and then we'll get into some action. Somebody get the man a mic. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust your screens. Finn Balor is live here on SWE Octane. Now, some of you may be wondering why I'm here. Now, Shabby Game has been discussing with me for quite some time about coming to Octane, but I just wasn't sure it was the right move for me. And then something happened. Something happened last week which really made me feel like this was the correct move. AJ Styles turned up here on SWE Octane. He said about how he was going to reclaim what was rightfully his, the leadership of Bullet Club. Now, in case AJ Styles hasn't remembered, there was a leader long before him. There was the best leader that Bullet Club has had. And that is myself, Finn Balor. So if AJ Styles wants to take ownership of the club back, he's going to have to go through me as well. Because I'm here to reclaim what is rightfully mine as well. And that is my club. That is Balor Club. So very interesting there by Finn. Challenge is laid down. It looks like AJ Styles is not the only person looking to reclaim the club. I wonder what Kenny Omega's got to say about this as well. And not even that, we've seen in the past some interesting situations between Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes. I think Cody's someone who would definitely like to be in charge of the Bullet Club stable as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this all pans out now with the likes of both AJ Styles and of course Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor was the original leader of Bullet Club, wasn't he? You might be able to tell me more about that one. I'm pretty sure he was, but I might be wrong. There might have been somebody beforehand. I think, wasn't it Finn Balor, Carl Anderson, and... Finn Balor and Carl Anderson, I think, were two of the originals. You guys might have to let me know about that one, because I'm not 100% sure. I've got a feeling that Finn was the first proper leader. But still, he's come back to try and reclaim his club, just like AJ Styles claimed last week as well. This is going to make a very, very interesting universe mode, isn't it? A lot of big names all fighting for the same thing. Finn Balor shaking hands there with Mr. Kurt Hawkins. Hawkins, of course, faced off against AJ Styles last week as well. Unfortunately for Hawkins, he was on the losing side. And things don't look like they're going to get much better here, do they? He gets a boot in the face to start the show off from the debuting Finn Balor. Nice DDT there by Finn as well. I'm hoping the audio's okay. I've had to play around with the audio because my first video, I think the first video is okay. It's been, it had a couple of issues with copyright claims because I didn't turn the volume down enough on the entrance music, and we got copyright claimed on that, which is a bit frustrating, but we should be okay. Finn now with the, nice, the boot in the face. Now up on the top rope, Finn already looking for the coup de grace and hits it. Boot right in the gut of Kurt Hawkins. 1, 2, and 3. And just like AJ Styles last week, Finn Balor has made short work here of Kurt Hawkins. Bless him. Bless old Hawkins. He tries his best, doesn't he? He tries his best, but he's good. I like him. I do like Kurt Hawkins. I think I said about it in the last episode, didn't I? How he was always someone who... he was someone who, when he first came back to WWE, I was really annoyed about the way that he's being treated as this sort of jobber and this, that, and the other. But as time's gone on, I've realised that it's actually a very good role for him. I know he'd rather be winning matches week in, week out, but at the same time, you can't moan too much because he's getting a hell of a lot of TV time and he's fulfilling a role that he was probably very much aware that he would be fulfilling when he rejoined WWE back a couple of years ago. Be interesting. I was still interested to see if they actually give him a little bit of a run, just to say thank you for what he's been doing, but maybe not. Who knows? We'll find out as time goes on. And here's our next match of the evening. I'm hoping you guys are ready for some lucha action. We have got Kalisto versus Prince Puma. It might be Prince Puma's first appearance here in SWE. I don't think we used him that much in the previous seasons. He was part of the roster, but it was only in the draft, the last draft, that we started to allow variations of the same character. So we were allowed to start using Prince Puma along with Ricochet, a different brand, and same with the Foleys as well. So yeah, this could be Prince Puma's first real opportunity, but we are going to be having a big Cruiserweight triple threat match at our first pay-per-view, All or Nothing, and that is going to be for the Cruiserweight Championship. I just said that, didn't I? It's going to be incredible, though. We're going to have to see these two guys right here, Kalisto and Prince Puma, joining Mystico, the current Cruiserweight Champion, in the ring. I mean, how good is that going to be? 3 of the best luchadors in the world, all in the ring at the same time, fighting it out for the Cruiserweight Championship. I'm really looking forward to that one. Yeah, Mystico, Kalisto, Prince Puma. It's an absolute luchador dream match, isn't it, really? And tonight we get a great chance for one of those two guys to build momentum and to really get the confidence ahead of that All or Nothing pay-per-view. Are we going to see Mystico? Not going to see Mystico before the pay-per-view, no. Oh, just looking at our matches next week, wow. Main event in the next episode is going to be Hiroshi Tanahashi versus El Generico. We're also going to see Jay White versus Hiromu Takahashi next episode. That's going to be pretty damn good. And like I said, the episode after that, the 4th episode, is going to see Neville versus Balor, Ospreay versus Kushida. Wow. But tonight's matches, after this one, we've got for you Tommaso Ciampa versus Pete Dunne, one-on-one. Then we're going to see Aleister Black versus Tetsuya Naito. Then we're going to have a women's #1 contendership match as Bayley takes on Becky Lynch. The winner of that one will take on Jazzy Gabert at the pay-per-view for the Women's Championship. And then our main event this evening will be The Miz, accompanied by Maryse, taking on Mike Bennett, being accompanied by Maria Kanellis. Interesting little match, that one. A match that I'm hoping they do go for in real life. Once Bennett does return, which probably will be post-WrestleMania. I think he's had his issues, but I think he's on top of them now. Whether he's ready to return, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm hoping he would be by now. Especially after Mania, when things are looking a bit more on his side, you would hope. Because I know a lot of people didn't really take to him too well, did they? But I think it's a very good wrestler. I think people misunderstand that. The fact that they signed him up and put him straight into the main show rather than NXT shows how much they feel about him. But at the same time, I do think people that get put straight on the main show rather than going through NXT, I think are sometimes the ones that are probably not as good. Because the ones that go through NXT get all the extra training, they get the extra the extra time to develop their character, and they get the extra time to really understand exactly what they want to do with the character as well, and how they want to bring him in. Whereas people that go straight into the main roster are generally just dropped in there without much of a storyline, especially on SmackDown when you've got Road Dogg booking it. When you've got Road Dogg booking it, you've got no chance, have you? I'll tell you what here. Prince Puma is destroying Kalisto. If this is anything we got to go by for the championship match, then Prince Puma's looking pretty dominant. If I was Mystico, I'd be sat backstage now worrying about how dominant Prince Puma is. But then again, Triple Threat is very much a different kettle of fish. You've got two people to pay attention to at once, really. You can't just concentrate on one all the time, because the other one could creep up behind you and do some serious damage. You have to be careful about that. Kalisto finally is getting a little bit of aggression there with a jawbreaker, but can he take advantage? Nope, he gets clotheslined straight back down again by Prince Puma, who drops into the pin. Only a 1 count. And a big boot in the back there by Prince Puma on Kalisto. I'm really enjoying this new season. I don't know how you guys feel about it. It's I really enjoyed Adrenaline, but I must admit, once we got to the end of it, I really was craving a fresh roster, a fresh start, and I'm really enjoying this. Now, after this one, I have planned it out now. After this one, we are going to go for Carnage. And then after Carnage, I've been talking about it for a while, but myself and PJ Toby have finally sort of confirmed the idea. Now, after Carnage, we are going to be going for the Wrestling World Cup, which will start, in theory, the same day as the Football World Cup will. So the Wrestling World Cup, going to be teams of 3. Will face off against each other in matches. And you get points per match. It's going to be a group stage, a bit like the World Cup, really. It's going to be a group stage. Nations face off against each other. You get your points. After everyone's faced everyone, the teams with the most points go through to the knockout stage until we can go through and crown our first ever SWE World Cup champions. As Kalisto here is trying to get a victory here, the only way that he can. Puma needs to get back up on his feet. He needs to get in the ring. Puma, hurry up. Referee. Oh, he just made it. He just made it back in. Was on the brink of 10, and Puma's not happy that Kalisto tried to go for the victory via countout. They all count, I suppose, at the end of the day, but especially if you wanted to try and build the momentum, you want to try and get the victory the proper way by pinfall on that. But based on how this match has gone so far, I think that Kalisto would be happy just to get... Wow. Did he just spike him on his head? My God, that was brutal. Puma, Northern Light suplex, flips it through. Deadlifting Kalisto up into the vertical. Great little combination maneuver. Used a lot by Ricochet. Completely different guy, of course. You know, completely different person. Or is Ricochet now just drop it, Ricochet? Prince Puma now dropping his body weight across the inside the knee of Kalisto. Clever maneuver. Of course, these guys are very good at the high-flying aspect, and by taking out the leg, it's going to definitely remove some of what they can do, some of their aggression. As Puma now stalking Kalisto. Up on the shoulders. Into the big kick to the side of the face. The GTS Pele combination. 1, 2, and 3. And Prince Puma does pick up the victory here over Kalisto. And he's going to be the one taking the momentum into All or Nothing in that Cruiserweight Championship match between himself, Kalisto, and Mystico. It was a good little match here. Kalisto very, very close. Probably about a 1/10 of a second away from winning this one by countout. But Prince Puma was able to get back up on his feet. And Prince Puma, from really, apart from the countout situation, Prince Puma dominated the entire match. That was the Northern Light into the vertical. But then this was the big maneuver to finish it off. The GTS Pele combination. And that was enough for Prince Puma to get the victory. I wonder whether Puma might be able to move a little bit up the roster here. I don't know. I feel like Puma is going to be the man that leads our Cruiserweight Championship forward. Well, Cruiserweight Division forward. He's got to win the championship first, of course. But apart from that, We've got some big matches moving forward, in theory. Some big matches moving forward. We're going to see some really good action in this universe mode. And Prince Puma, like I said, fits the bill perfectly for our junior heavyweight. I keep saying cruiserweight. Junior heavyweight championship division. It's junior heavyweight. Junior heavyweight, junior heavyweight, junior heavyweight, junior heavyweight, junior heavyweight. I remember that eventually. I promise. And here is our next match of the evening. It is going to be Tommaso Ciampa versus Pete Dunne. This one's going to be interesting, this one. From one style to another, from high-flying to hard-hitting, this is going to be very interesting. I'll tell you what, who I haven't got. I just realised I haven't even got... I haven't got Moustache Mountain on this roster. That's weird. I would have thought Moustache Mountain would have suited this quite nicely, but I seem to have overlooked Moustache Mountain. I'm sure they'll find their way into one of our rosters. They always will. I do have some plans for other stuff that I want to go along to anyway. I will say that we are going to go through all of the 5 rosters that we drafted at the beginning of the game, but there's a possibility we might actually look at doing another couple of rosters maybe. I've thought of some themes for some rosters that will definitely just make things fresh and give us the chance to do what we want to do. Like I said, we are going to do the World Cup. We're going to do some tournaments as well, I think. We'll do the World Cup. We'll maybe do some sort of like King of Pro Wrestling or Queen of Pro Wrestling as well. King of the Deathmatch style tournament as well. Just trying to mix things up a little bit and get some different things going on. I think that's going to be the best way forward. I really enjoy doing these long-term sort of universes, but I think it's just nice every now and again to have a bit of a freshness. Just doing what we want to do, really. Just starting things afresh and going for it, yeah. Because who knows, there's some completely different stuff we could be going for then. We could go straight from the pinnacle like this of high flying and so forth, and then go straight into a retro roster, then straight into a British roster, then potentially straight into a Canadian roster, maybe an Attitude roster. I would like to. I don't know if you guys would be in for this, right? Because I know that it's a little bit. Well, I don't say it's niche, but it's something that not a lot of people want to go for. I'm thinking maybe a full-on retro roster. I don't know what you guys would think about that. Just a way to utilize the ones like, I don't know, like your Hogan, Retro Sting, Warrior, Bruno Sammartino, Harley Race, have Ric Flair as well as the Horsemen, of course, Legion of Doom, Demolition. I don't know what you guys would think about that. I think I might do, when we get to the point, we might just do a little video and discuss some different options and see what you guys would want to see. I'm up for all of them, to be honest. Wow, what a start there. Tommaso Ciampa dropping Pete Dunne face first. We've not seen a lot of Tommaso Ciampa so far in any of our universe modes, have we really? He doesn't really, he hasn't really fitted in a lot of our universe modes at this point in time, but I think he's perfect for this one, and I'm half tempted to have him as part of Carnage, but I must admit my proposed Carnage roster at this point in time is absolutely huge. So I don't know if he will be part of Carnage or not. And when I say huge, I mean that in stature of wrestler. I know I had a comment yesterday, didn't I? I forgot who it was from. I know who it was from. Was it? Who were you? I saw it and I can't remember for the life of me who it was. I know it's one of 2 or 3 people. I'll find it now. But I got a comment asking where all the big sweaty men were. And the answer to your question about where all the big sweaty men are, they are on Carnage. It's Little Mark. Little Mark Strike. You asked where all the big sweaty men. They are all over on Carnage, my friend. Carnage is going to be crazy. Carnage is going to be basically where the monsters roam. Nice. Look at that suplex powerbomb there by Pete Dunne on Tommaso Ciampa. And Ciampa had a pretty strong start to the match, but since then, Pete Dunne has taken a bit more control. There's the pin by Dunne. Oh, no, for a 1 count, though. Ciampa kicking out. Yeah, looking forward to Carnage, and looking forward to the World Cup as well. That's really going to be an interesting one, the World Cup. You'd be surprised how strong some of the teams are, to be honest. Really, when you actually break it down and look at individual nations, there's some that are really, really strong, and there might be a couple of little cheeky ones in there as well. Some fun ones. Face first there by Pete Dunne on Tommaso Ciampa on that top rope. Now Dunne taking Ciampa up, went for the powerbomb, but Ciampa rolled him through. Referee is so slow getting down. Oh, and Pete Dunne just about kicking down on the 2. Kicking down? Kicking out on the 2, shall I say. Nice backdrop. Now Ciampa bringing Dunne back up to his feet. A big, strong right hand, but Dunne sliding out the back. On Ciampa, going for that armbar submission. Always really wrenching at that, but Dunne is able to roll it through and escape. Dunne now sending Ciampa into the corner. Big back elbow there by Ciampa, now catching Dunne into a German suplex. And now Tommaso Ciampa stalking Pete Dunne. Is he going to go for this here? Yes, wow, the big knee strike right to the side of the head. There's the pin by Tommaso Ciampa on Pete Dunne. 1, 2, and 3. And Tommaso Ciampa picks up a massive victory here against the former European champion here on Octane, Pete Dunne. Wow. Good win here by Tommaso Ciampa. I was saying we haven't used Ciampa anywhere near as much as we should have done, and he's just proved that exactly here with this massive, massive victory over Pete Dunne. We're going to see quite a bit of Pete Dunne across this universe mode. We do have him planned in for a match in a couple of episodes' time against Sonata, which would be pretty cool. Then moving into month number 2. We're going to see much in Pump. Oh yeah, he's got a match against the British Bulldog in month number 2 as well. That's pretty good. Got some really interesting stuff going forward for Pete Dunne. It's going to be an interesting universe mode for him, and especially if he picks up a few more victories. Who knows? He might get pushed a bit further at the card, and we'll be able to see a bit more from Pete Dunne. I'd say I'm pretty sure he'll want to get back in that European Championship champion. Yeah, I went into a breakdown there, didn't I? I broke down. It'd be nice to see him get back in the European Championship picture. But he lost this big match here against Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa with a victory. And Ciampa's going to be the one pushing forward now. What's Ciampa got planned over the next few months? I'm sure we're going to see some good stuff from him as well. I'm sure we're going to see some good stuff from Tommaso Ciampa. And here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be Aleister Black taking on Tetsuya Naito. This is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to this one. 2 top guys on this roster. Real interesting combination of styles. You've got the high flying of Naito. You've got the striking ability of Aleister Black as well. It's going to be pretty damn cool, isn't it? Let's face it. This is the sort of stuff that we want to see from this roster. I'm a big fan of Aleister Black as well. He was one of the guys that myself and PJ Toby saw live a lot when we went to a lot of UK. We went to a huge amount of UK shows over the course of about 5-6 months, and then we just sort of, it got a bit more difficult time-wise to do that sort of stuff, really. And here he is, Aleister. I was so hyped when he finally got the move to WWE, and the fact that he's being used so well. And I think he's the sort of guy that will do pretty well on the main roster because of his dark character. I think he oozes charisma. What's that? The oh wow, you see Naito now taking Aleister Black out from behind. This match has not even started yet, and Naito already ripping Black to pieces. And for some reason, the game has decided to put the bars up. I'm not quite sure why. Black slowly getting back up to his feet now, and Naito taking Black out once again on the outside, just clattering him with that running forearm right in the face. Naito trying to get an unfair advantage to this match, and Black kick right in the leg, but Naito catches him straight away, sending Black towards the ring. Black just tripping over because apparently in this game you're not able to run forward that much without falling over. That's just a standard thing. Of course, if anybody out there has ever run more than 10 meters without falling over, you are already better than every single wrestler this game has to offer, because that is not possible, apparently. That is weird, though. I don't know why they don't do, why they fall over. I can understand they sort of I can understand if it was sort of they just stopped running, but to fall over just seems really weird. Wow, Naito, the big elbow right in the face, and wow, it looks like Aleister Black's out here. He looks sort of unconscious. Is it? I think this match is not going to go ahead, you know. Doesn't look like it. Right then, yes, it looks like that match is not going to go ahead. It sounds like Aleister Black may have taken quite a strike to the face with that back elbow by Naito. And he is clean out. He's been taken back to the medical facility. And hopefully we'll have an update on him a little bit later on. But to fill the gap, let's go for our women's #1 contendership match as Bayley takes on Becky Lynch. Shame about that one. I was really looking forward to seeing Naito versus Aleister Black. But Naito obviously had a different idea in his mind. Hopefully that match will go ahead at some point in the future. And hopefully we'll get Aleister Black back in action pretty soon. It didn't look that bad, did it really, that elbow strike? But evidently it was quite a strong hit and it knocked him clean out. It was a bit weird, wasn't it, how it happens. That's one of the weird things about wrestling. You can have like the most dangerous looking things can be absolutely fine, and the most simple looking thing can be the most dangerous. It's weird. It's like the injury that finished Tyson Kidd's career, effectively. It just didn't look like much, and it's the same move that Samoa Joe's done to many other people in the past, and nobody else has ever had an issue with it in the past, but unfortunately, it just wasn't a good situation for Tyson Kidd, and it's really weird, isn't it? But anyway, Bayley takes on Becky Lynch. #1 contendership match. The winner of this one will go on to face off against Jazzy Gabert at All or Nothing for the Octane Women's Championship. Great chance for both these ladies. I think they've both been champions before in one place or another. I can't remember where, but one place or another. There's also a chance of us doing a women's only universe mode as well at some point. Depends. I'm not quite sure that's really in everyone's cup of tea. I don't mind doing it, but there might be quite a few people out there that are not as interested. I don't know. It depends. It all depends on, to me, is if we can get enough cores, because there's one thing you do know in this game is that women's cores are nowhere near the quality of the men's cores, which is disappointing because it really does limit our female rosters. But there's still some good stuff we can go for. I think next year's game will be a lot better because there'll be a lot more women on that as well. When you add the likes of Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. Is there many other women that are not on the game? There's none on the main roster, is there? But maybe one or two others in NXT, maybe? They might go for it. Ember Moon's already on the game. I think those are the main two, aren't they? Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler are the main two. Unless they decide to go a little bit lower down and go for the likes of Aliyah and Bianca Blair, or Binky Blair, whatever she's called these days. Apart from that, the women's division in NXT hasn't really changed a lot, has it really? They bring one or two women up, and then one or two women come in, but I think since Asuka, nobody really has come up, have they? So Asuka's the last one who came up. Yeah, so not really a moment people really do much, do they, really? Nice Hurricanrana there by Bayley, taking Becky Lynch down. I'm not sure if these two women would really fancy face-off against Jazzy Gabert, to be honest with you. She's a beast. She's not someone I would fancy getting in the ring with, to be honest with you. She'd destroy me. Was that a kick out even before one, I think, there by Becky Lynch? Yeah, I don't think Bayley even got a one there. Bayley looking for the elbow drop. Becky rolling out the way, playing possum very, very well. Now Becky heading up top, what she got planned. Bayley slowly making her way up to her feet, but Becky decides to stay where she is. Nice jumping Hurricanrana from the top rope. That is beautiful. Now the head scissors taking Bayley down. Becky now bringing Bayley back up to her feet. Off the ropes, and a nice step up drop kick as well. Becky Lynch now heading up to the top. Very happy what she's done so far. Can't blame her, can you, really? She's in control of the match, but need to be careful. Need to be careful. You don't know what's going to happen here. If you give Bayley a bit too much time, she might be able to turn this one back around. Becky now dragging Bayley across the ring. Draped over that top rope and just pinged back. Bayley taking Becky down. And a short, sharp DDT, dropping her face first into the mat. Bayley heading up to the middle rope, looking to drop an elbow, and once again she missed it. That's a couple of times she's gone for that elbow now, and it's not going well for her at all, is it? Nice head scissors though by Becky Lynch, turned the match around once again. And it's twice now this has happened to Bayley. She's gone for that big maneuver, and it's just not worked out for her. It's just not been great at all for her, has it? She goes to that big elbow, and once you miss it, you're backwards again in the match. And with Becky Lynch hitting maneuvers like that, the Bexplex. But again, instead of going for continued offense, Becky's up on the middle rope taunting the crowd. Bayley sending Becky into the corner. Bayley celebrating, not quite sure why. Monkey flip out the corner on Becky Lynch by Bayley. Now Bayley bringing Becky back up to her feet. Hitting over a couple of big axe handles. A spear in the corner. Ooh. And a splash in the corner as well. Bayley in control of Becky. All of a sudden she's really turned it around. Nice suplex into the turnbuckle by Bayley on Becky. And all of a sudden Bayley is in firm control of this match. Bayley now bringing Becky back up, but Becky fighting back, a big uppercut. And now into the disarmer. Wow, she's got the submission out of nowhere. Bayley was just getting in charge of the match, and Becky locks in the submission. Is it going to be enough? Will Bayley tap, or will she survive? Bayley able to squeeze her way out of that one. She does survive for now. But Becky looking to continue the assault. There's the snapmare. And once again, wrenching back of that arm. Really wrenching that arm of Bayley now by Becky. Bayley really struggling. The damage has definitely been done to that arm. Oh, what a back elbow that was. Strong back elbow by Bayley, but once again, Becky just catches her straight away. Slammed into the turnbuckle, then just launched across the ring. Pinned now by Becky. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Bayley still survives. And don't forget, we've still got your big main event to come this evening. Mike Bennett takes on The Miz one-on-one. Well, I say one-on-one. Maryse and Maria will both be at ringside. Nice sit-out slam there by Bayley. She hooking the leg and sitting across the chest of Becky Lynch. Not enough, though. Becky back up at her feet, and Bayley struggling, though. I think this match has taken a lot out of Bayley. There's an arm breaker. And once again, Becky wrenching back of that arm. She's really focused on the arm. Bayley's going to have to tap sooner or later, because she could get some real serious prolonged damage to that arm eventually, you know. Becky now just strutting around the ring, trying to decide her next port of offense. Nice big splash on Bayley. There's the pin. 1, 2. Still only a 2 count. Becky now head scissors, and the big elbows right on the top of the head of Bayley. Becky taking Bayley up, but Bayley slides free into a neck breaker. All of a sudden, Bayley back in control. This has been a very good match, actually, here. I must say, both these ladies doing fantastically well. Bayley, oh. An arm breaker there. On Becky now into a Bayley to belly. Bayley in with a pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Bayley picks up the win. Wow, I thought Becky had this one. I really did. I really thought Becky had this one quite a few times in this match, but Bayley shows incredible resilience to continue and fight through. And now Bayley will go on to face off against Jazzy Gabert for the Women's Championship. Becky back up on her feet. Bayley offering a handshake. And Becky Lynch does accept. Of course, these two very good friends outside the ring. 2 members of the 4 Horsewomen. Great respect being shown here but it's Bayley who goes to All or Nothing to face off against Jazzy Gabert for the Women's Championship. And here's our next match of the evening. It is with The Miz versus Mike Kanellis in our main event. Of course, The Miz going to be accompanied to the ring by his wife, Maryse, while Mike Kanellis will be accompanied to the ring by his wife, Maria Kanellis. Should be interesting. This is the sort of match that you'd want if you had mixed matches, but evidently the game does not allow that. It's a shame that... I'm going to say it's a shame that Maryse is pregnant. It's not, obviously, because it's what they want, but if Maryse wasn't pregnant at this point in time, then Maryse and The Miz would have been a fantastic team to have in the Mixed Match Challenge, and as would Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis would have been a very good team if it wasn't, of course, due to Mike being out currently. That's nice. These two have got a special entrance. Because these two don't pop up as actual stablemates when you start the game. There's a few hidden entrances on this game. For example, if you get all 4 members of the Wyatt family together, you get a hidden 4-man entrance for them. Which is not... just sort of hidden away in the game. You don't know about it. It's the same as Sanity. If you put all 4 members of Sanity together, you get a 4-man Sanity entrance. It's probably the same with Evolution, to be honest with you. If you put Flair, Triple H, Orton and Batista, you might get a special... I've not tried that one, to be honest. But this as well... So I've not set this up as a stable, but you get the actual entrance of these two together anyway. Be nice if you could pick this entrance, because this will be a pretty good entrance to have for Mike Bennett and Maria. Maybe you can pick it. Or you can't, no, because you can't have a male and female in a stable together. Or you can now, can't you? They changed it so you could now, yeah. I think so. Yeah, look at Maria just hidden off to the side now. Here comes Mike Kanellis then. Yeah, like I said, it's a bit of a shame that he has the issues he has, because I thought he was starting to do pretty well over on SmackDown. He was starting to build himself up, but of course he was fighting a lot of demons at the same time. So hopefully, once he gets back, he'll be twice the wrestler he was. Why's my TV gone blank? I think my telly's gone off. Ah! Has it? Yeah, it has, yeah. Can't see what's going on. I'm assuming... There we go. Yeah. My telly was off. I'm assuming it is just the entrance of Mike Bennett, and it is just the entrance of Mike Bennett. Not much else is going to be, is it? So this should be an interesting main event then. Mike Bennett versus The Miz. With Maria Kanellis and Maryse at ringside. Straight away, The Miz getting the offense in with that snap suplex. The Miz bringing Mike Bennett back up to his feet. Front chancery now. Big elbow across the back of the head now. Nice slam there as well by The Miz. Miz stiff right hand on Bennett, bringing him back up to his feet. Oh, what a big boot there by The Miz. Not really a big boot is what you'd expect. And there you go, straight away, Maria Kanellis distracting The Miz, allowing Bennett to get back up to his feet. Bennett with a boot in the gut of The Miz. Now taking him up and dropping him with that spiked brainbuster. There's a pin. It's not even a 1 count though. Well, The Miz has had the majority of the offense in this match really. Mike's only recently got back into it once Maria had distracted The Miz enough. Might now wrench in at the back of The Miz. Do some damage here, old Mike. Oh, look at that, just throwing him into the turnbuckle there. And Bennett is in full control of the match now, actually. That little bit of interference by Maryse has really done Bennett some good work, here. Bennett dropping a boot straight across the chest of The Miz. Went for the drop kick to the back, but The Miz rolling out of the way. A boot in the calf, another boots across the chest. Of course, The Miz Still quite a few of his moves here from Daniel Bryan with that little feud. Miz versus Daniel Bryan has to happen at some point, doesn't it? That match is going to happen at some point. They have to build off of all that build-up they did last year. They have to. The Miz now stalking Bennett. Bringing him back up to a standing base. Looking for the scoop slam, but Bennett slides free into a reverse DDT. Bennett now wrenching the arm of the Miz. Oh, twisting it as well. Bennett now dragging the Miz across the ring. Just pinging him back and chair in the ring there. And of course, this is not a no disqualification match. So if the chair was used, then it would be a disqualification if the referee sees it. Seems to be like Maria is much more intrigued in distracting the referee and allowing... Oh, referee finds the chair now. Don't know how he missed it for so long, to be honest with you. Miz dropping the elbows across the face of Bennett. Yeah, we haven't seen Maryse really... Maryse? We haven't seen Maryse really interfere in this match at all, but you see Maria once again getting in the head of the Miz, and that's distracting the Miz enough once again to allow Mike Bennett up to his feet, but Miz is ready to continue the action. There's a Russian leg sweep. Big boot in the arm there by the Miz, now bringing Bennett back up to his feet. Miz celebrating as he does. Why not, bless him. Why not celebrate? If you've got the chance, why not do it? There's a skull-crushing finale by the Miz. Referee distracted here by Maria, who's up on the apron. And that has saved Bennett there in some sense, I suppose. I say saved him, really. It's not the... We've just been hit by a big maneuver like that. You don't necessarily want to be saved, do you, I suppose? Nice backdrop there by Bennett as well. And Bennett now forcing a knee right into the spine of the Miz. Miz back up on his feet. There's a big elbow in the gut. Boom. Nice reverse DDT by Mike KANELLIS on the Miz. Now taking the Miz up onto his shoulder. Onto the backpack. Into a stunner. There's the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. The Miz kicking out. And now locking in a submission now. I want to say Anaconda Vice, but I don't think it is the Anaconda Vice, is it? Oh, what a knee to the back of the head there by the Miz, fighting free from the submission. Bennett rolls out the way, but Miz catches him once again. Leans him up against the ropes. Miz using the ropes for leverage and dropping the boot straight across the chest of Bennett. And then Miz stalking Bennett once again, but Bennett not getting up to his feet. Miz bringing Bennett back up, went for that running knee strike, but Bennett avoids it, now dropping the Miz in that high angle backdrop once again. Bennett dragging Miz middle of the ring, looking for the pin. Certainly a 1 count, wow. These two guys determined not to give up. They know how important a victory is on the first night here of SWE Octane. Well, their first appearance, I say, in SWE Octane. Bennett once again taking Miz up on the shoulders into the spinning cutter. A boot in the face as well by Bennett. And Bennett in firm control. And really, Miz should have won this match earlier on, shouldn't he? With the skull-crushing finale, but of course the distraction by Maria Kanellis allowed Bennett to get back into this. Well, wow. What a reversal there by The Miz. Bennett looking for that super backdrop. The Miz reversed it into basically a super crossbody. And Miz just slowing the period of the match down now. Must looks like Mike Kanellis is tapping there, isn't it? But what he's trying to do is just knock away at the back of the leg there and continue the blood flow going. Going. Miz looking for a suplex, but Mike fights him back with a knee in the head and a stiff right hand, dropping The Miz down. Mike dropping the elbow in the knee. And Kanellis here taking a break. He's looking a bit knocked in this match, isn't he? He is looking a bit knocked. I think it's taking a lot out of him. On the shoulders once again. And nice. Takes him down. Kanellis with the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Mike Kanellis gets the victory. But arguments could be made here that The Miz should have got the win a little bit earlier with the skull cushion finale. But with Maryse distracting the referee, Bennett was able to survive. So, interesting. There is the skull cushion finale. And you see straight away Maria Kanellis up on the apron distracting the referee. And then from there on, Bennett was able to turn it around. He still took a couple of hits here and there. But eventually Mike Bennett was able to finish The Miz off. And he gets a victory here in SWE Octane. Right, guys, that is the end of tonight's show. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do hit a like and, of course, subscribe if you want to see some more. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you very, very soon for our next episode of SWE Octane. I think, again, due to commitments I've got this week, we're probably looking at just uploads next weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, we should have another 2 episodes of Octane. And that should lead us nicely looking at our first pay-per-view All or Nothing the week after. So, once again, I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. The 1, 2, 3.